super excited. And I guess excited is an interesting thing to say, right? There's so much chaos around. And to be honest, when there's chaos, we kind of have two or three options, right? If you're a big company, you can hunker down. If you're a little company, I guess you can hide under a rock and hope that you make it through. But to be honest, the middle ground where growth hackers or people like me kind of thrive is that chaos, is being able to take advantage of it. And so, Ben, if you can jump to the next one. So, really the world has changed. It's changed in interesting ways. Everybody's at home, right? They're sitting in their house. It's starting to, they're trying to homeschool their kids and work all at the same time. And so go ahead, Ben. So, they're changed. Their life has changed. Summer's coming. The kids can barely go outside and play. It's going to heat up, and they're going to have to figure out how to keep their house comfortable, right? Although that has changed, what has really changed is what they want, right? You're going to have to change the way that you're engaging them. And this really comes down to, growth hackers' number one core tool is empathy, right? Sit in the seat of your customer and say, how do they want, and what do they want things differently? Now, the real big thing here is that if you have to change, your employees are going to have to be a different type of employee. Go ahead, Ben. And so, if you need different people, you're going to have people not just that can do the job, that technically understand it. They're going to have to be people who love customers and can actually work through technology to figure things out. And to be honest, even through the homeowner to figure out what's wrong, how to diagnose it, how to engage them, how to schedule differently. They're going to have to use different technology and that type of stuff. And so hiring, while it was crazy vital last year, this building of a talent engine is extremely important right now, right? How can you attract not just the same people last year, but different people? How do you select them without getting buried and overwhelmed? How do you get them engaged and up to speed and retain them? Became completely different, right? But there's some new pains out there that you're going to have to, just the old pain is bad enough, but now we got some new pains, right? So the first new pain is that you have new job requirements. It's not going to be as easy as it used to be. The people that used to be great at this job are going to have to evolve how they engage with people, not just from a tech standpoint, but how they engage personally, social awareness and distancing, those types of things, just weird habits that your customers now might find offensive that were totally fine before. And with those new job requirements means that you're going to have to start hiring for what I call fit. What that means is it's going to become more important to find an awesome person, right? The right personality, the right culture, the right engagement, the way they act, the way they talk, the way that they work, their comfort with technology and change, and train them for some of the skills that before you might have been focused on, right? It's easier to train somebody for skill than it is to train them to be a great worker or have integrity. Number three, you're going to have to design a job they'll want. You're going to potentially be pulling people out of different industries here. And to be honest, the old adage of, well, that's just the way we do it in construction, or that's just the way it works in HVAC, it's not going to be acceptable anymore. It might have been acceptable last year to say, we don't offer any PTO. We don't do it for 6 months. We wait for 90 days. You can't take any time off in the summertime. Like, that's going to be different. You're going to have to design a job that the job seekers will actually want. If you want to create an awesome experience for your employees, this is a great example of a different ad, right? Even this has to evolve a little bit, but you're going to have to sell a job to these job seekers. You can't just sit here and say 10 million people are unemployed last week. Well, those 10 million people, they're used to being treated differently than potentially you're treating them. And if you treat your employees badly or poorly, even though it's normal, they're not going to treat your customers the way you need to treat them. And so if you want to project out there in the space that you care about customers, you're going to have to care about your employees. Now, this one's a new interesting one, right? There's a potential you're going to see a flood of applicants. It doesn't mean a flood of qualified people. And even your term qualified might look different now than it looked back then. But the potential is that you throw some job ads out there and you're going to get flooded with unqualified people. And so having a process in place, being prepared to capture those applicants, and know the goal here is not to scare them off with your ad or to make it hard for them to apply. That's actually going to make it hard for the good people to apply. It's not going to have any impact, which means we're going to have to take this pain number 5. You're going to have to figure out how you design a selection process, a hiring process, an interview process that, number 1, you can do remotely. Then number two, you can do kind of on lock on automation. You're going to have to figure out who does it all the time because your head and your work ethic are going to be focused on other things. But this selection and screening process are going to become even more important as far as what tools you use and what you're looking for to make it work. Now, if this doesn't work, then you're going to struggle. And if it does work, you're going to capitalize and create a competitive advantage against everybody else. So here's what we have to offer. We've got this free hiring jumpstart kit. Look, most of you are saying, I don't even know where to go. I don't know how to approach this. What we were doing last year didn't work. So clearly this new environment is going to be even harder. So really simple, text the word hire to 877-797-6242. You'll provided with a Jumpstart kit, a download that you can go through along with videos that walks you through how to create your strategy, how to identify what your new job requirements are, candidate profiles. We've gone through and read thousands of reviews of different candidates, both in the HVAC world and outside. We know what they hate, we know what they love, and we can give you a quick guide to say, this is how you should design your job to be something that these applicants will love, your competitors' employees will love to switch to. We can make sure the switch is easy. We'll help you write job ads. We'll help you create screening questions. Really, this is like a hiring process strategy out of a box. So you just need to text the word hire to the number on here, 877-797-6242. I'm sure Ben can send that out at the end as well. And so really straightforward. If you want to make hiring a competitive advantage, this is the way to do it.